Ryan Clark has been fired from ESPN, but not only fired, they let him go on the spot. They let him go during the commercial break. You couldn't respect the man enough to let him finish his show? I mean, damn, he done put in years with the corporation, 10, 11 years with ESPN. You didn't have the decency to let that man finish out the show? Tragic times we living in, but I'm not too surprised. Honestly, this remind me a little bit of Herm Edwards. Y'all remember Herm Edwards? Got fired right after he lost at Arizona State. They approached him. They said, hey, listen, your time here is done. We appreciate you as a head coach, but yeah, we're not even going to let you make it off the field before you get this firing, before you get this verbal lashing. And a part of me feels like they enjoy the embarrassment. Now, a lot of us know that Ryan Clark has stood on nothing but absolute business his entire time as an ESPN analyst. Let's call it what it is, man. When there's certain issues that come up, certain uncomfortable topics that need to be discussed, Ryan Clark is usually that man who brings things to the forefront. And another thing he does is he calls out people like Peter Schrager. Who is Peter Schrager? Well, ESPN had big plans for this guy. He was an analyst, a commentator, you know, someone they felt like they could put the brand behind. But Ryan Clark pretty much embarrassed him. As you're going to see in this clip, this dude went straight to Karen mode. He said, listen, I'm not able to control myself in this environment. And I just think I'm being bullied and I'm being talked about. I'm just not able to cope. I'm not able to make it. Hey, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this clip.
Are you feeling, okay, you look at A.J. Brown, which is this number one wide receiver who got one target all night, and then you got CeeDee Lamb.
But that's the,
when was the one target?
That's the target,
But
though.
I'm saying,
when
like,
was the one target?
I'm saying you could have it both ways.
54 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this morning saying A.J. Brown had a better day than CeeDee Lamb?
But you know what you wake up saying, though? A.J. Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course.
Right, like that's what
I get it.
But the thing is this, though, and we shouldn't do this on TV. And so I apologize if people think this is rude. That's the non-player.
Oh, stop. That's no. That CeeDee Lamb is.
Let me tell you why. I'm not saying.
I'm not looking at fantasy football, Ryan. I'm not. Don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing, and give an alternative perspective that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player, I can't speak for CeeDee Lamb. I'm speaking.
So as you can clearly see, that's Ryan Clark standing on business. Just one example. A lot of people are pointing to this incident to say, hey, this is the reason why ESPN is getting rid of Ryan. They're giving that money to Pat McAfee, giving Pat 60 M's and clearing house, man. They said, we don't need Ryan Clark out here in these streets checking people. The reality of the situation is you're not supposed to be this intelligent. You're supposed to be able to shut up, give us some entertainment, give us some nice in-game takes, but you're not supposed to use that in-game experience to hold against the analyst who's never played the game. And that's what he did. He checked them. He checked them on live TV in real time. You've never done this. A lot of the times in professions like that, the NFL, the NBA, you have a lot of the guys whose opinions are able to put people in position who shouldn't be there. Let's call it what it is. A lot of the times the media are able to create narratives on certain players and paint them in certain images. And when you have a player who actually did it, not only does he know the game of football to a T, but he also is able to articulate himself very well outside of the field. And that's just not good, because then what do those other guys have? What can they hang their hat on? They're supposed to be smarter than a Ryan Clark. They're supposed to be more intelligent. They're supposed to be more articulate, but he's beating them at all areas of the game. Now, is this the reason why they had to let him go specifically? I don't know, but they're pointing to that video, that clip, and they're saying this is one of the reasons why they had to get Ryan Clark about the paint. Outspoken, intelligent, firm in your opinions as a black man, articulate, able to put your words together. Hey man, you're considered a threat. Sticking up for things that you feel like is right. Let's call a spade a spade. This dude, Ryan Clark, stood on business when it came to Kyron Lacy.
Please, yes. I beg your pardon. I did want to clear space for this.
1 second, please.
This is important.
Yes, guys, Kyron Lacy was supposed to be in the NFL. Kyron Lacy was accused of something and being investigated for something that he didn't do, and he died having to live with the guilt and the consequences of a guilty man knowing he was innocent. It recently was discovered that he was 72 yards away from the crash, that police and state policemen tried to coerce and doctor and use ways to manipulate statements that put this young man behind bars. They changed his joy, they changed his life, and eventually he took his own life.
That situation was real tricky. You had everybody turning on Kyron to the point to where he took himself out. Let's call a spade a spade. And what did Ryan Clark do? He used that platform and he said, nah, we got to speak on the fact that everybody was blaming this kid, but nobody wanted to come to the forefront and call a spade and say, hey, you know what? We messed up. This kid, we done put so much pressure on him, thinking that he did A, B, and C. The footage done came out that it wasn't even him. And yet y'all not clearing that up? Nah. Say Kyron Lacy name. LSU need to get right. Let's let his name reign supreme out here, right? But I ain't even gonna say it. I'm gonna let Ryan handle it. Go ahead.
This was supposed to be a career, but at least he was supposed to be here. At some point throughout his career, I would expect to have said his name. So I'm gonna say his name tonight.
Amen.
Kyron Lacy was innocent. Kyron Lacy should be here with us. Nothing will ever repair or replace the pain that their parents, that his parents have to feel and his loved ones have to feel. But we could say his name. There were so many stations that ran the fact that he was being investigated. So I wanted to make sure here with Scott, we could say that he was an innocent man and at least know that he has that as he rests.
You and I talked about this earlier tonight, and I'll just share with them what I share with you. I can't recall ever seeing something that made me react viscerally to the point that I felt like my hands were trembling to think that there's video that shows that this is not at all what happened, and that young man took his life. And so I will not say any more. It's your thoughts here. I just wanted to echo.
Thank you very much.
No, and my apologies for forgetting that.
Ryan Clark gives us that same passion he gave us out there on that field, man. In the analyst room, we gotta call a spade a spade. That's what we know him for. Dude done created his own podcast. He got his own motion, The Pivot. They've been rocking out for some years now. They doing solid. If anything, this should truly teach you that you gotta do your own thing. You gotta have your own motion. If you work for a company long enough, you will get fired. And shout out to Acho. You know, Acho get a lot of bad press, but Acho said what he said today as far as that Ryan Clark situation, and it made a ton of sense.
All right, it's time to talk about this Ryan Clark firing. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Number one, objectively, he's a good analyst. Why? He's brought NFL Live to Emmy Awards, of which they had never won before, and they likely will not win after. So I understand that fans, more than anything, we value y'all's opinions. We make the shows for y'all. But regardless of whether you think he's great or you think he's terrible, objectively speaking, he got the accolades to prove his greatness. With that being said, firing a man during his show that he's helped bring an Emmy Award is wild. I got a story for y'all. I'm gonna hold that for the next 10 seconds. Wild. Why did they say they did it? Because they didn't want him to find out on social media. So you fire him during a show and pull him during the last 10 minutes of the segment? I digress. Story time. Last year when I got fired, if you work long enough at a job, you're gonna get fired. Last year when I got fired, they had us find out on social media. We found out on social media. More often than not, executives are cowards. Former athletes, we're used to tough information. Just tell it to us. We done been cut before, broken bones before, had surgeries before. Ryan Clark notably couldn't play a game in like Denver, Colorado because he had a disease, I think an autoimmune something. Like, bruh, we're used to tough things. Just tell us. With that being said, note for anybody that wants to get into sports television. Start to create your own show so you can't be fired. Incubate yourself from being fired from an executive. Because here's the most fascinating dichotomy of everything. Once you get good, you will become so good that you become too expensive to afford. And networks can only afford so many great talent. McAfee, Stephen A. Smith, to some degree, Greenberg. They're getting the big money for doing daily shows on ESPN. I'm not talking about the Sunday shows. Those game day shows, anything tethered around live events, way too much money. Everybody got money on those shows. But daily shows, if you get so good, there comes a point they can't afford you. That's the dichotomy of it all. Love, Ryan. I already texted you that privately, but I'll tell you publicly as well.
Hey, man, so y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Is ESPN dead wrong for letting the homie Ryan Clark go? Or should we pretty much expect this out of these big corporations? Y'all let me know, man. It's plantation politics.